Welcome back. Today we're going to go ahead and do a quick rundown on the Ducati Desmo system. This isn't really like a how-to, it's just more like a how I did things, just so you can kind of see what's going on. Bike's been apart, so we're going to go ahead and take off the valve covers, inspect the clearances, see how they're doing. Motor's got about 5,000 miles on it right now, so let's take a look inside, see how these are doing over that 5,000 miles, and see what we get. First things first, you want to make sure to go ahead and remove your spark plugs, so this way you can turn that motor over and you go ahead and look at your timing marks. Got to remove our valve cover first, then we'll go ahead and roll that motor over and look at the alignment. You want to make sure that TDC, this is best done with a degree wheel. However, you can do it per cylinder by looking at the valve lobes themselves and making sure everything's centered up. Big thing is we want to take a look at our clearances. We've got a couple of different rocker arms here, so this graphic kind of shows you have an open and closing arms for each valve instead of springs, right? That's what allows it to rev so high, and that's important because you have clearances that are associated with those open and closers. We want to look at both of those to make sure that we are in spec. And so you see here in front of us, we've got the different clearances and what they should be. And again, this is just a rundown of what to look for. So we'll take a look here at the cams and how these cams look different. You can tell one is an opener, one is a closer, and that is for both the intake and exhaust valve. So we will have to do clearances on all of those to make sure that we are good to go and run within spec, and you'll see that they are very different. When rolling these motors over, again, degree wheel is ideal. However, you can turn these motors over like we see here, just so that you're at the opposite of maximum lift. So you're on the I guess I want to say the shallow side of the cam lobe itself, where you're not going to have any lift at all, and that's the place you want to check your clearance. When checking these clearances, feeler gauges are a little bit of an art form. You want to go ahead and slide those in to where they slip in. There's a little bit of resistance there, and that's going to be your ideal feeling is what I want to say. Just a little bit of resistance. If it just slides in with no resistance at all, obviously that gap is too big. The next thing is once you go to the high end of that tolerance and you try to go ahead and insert that feeler gauge in and it doesn't go, obviously that clearance doesn't work and you'll be forcing that valve open or wedging that feeler gauge in there. Well, that's not going to be the proper clearance at that point. So here's our feeler gauge, and we'll go with a high and low end of the scale. The low end, right, we want to make sure that that fits in with no problem. And the high end of the scale, we don't want it to go in because that would be too much clearance. So you kind of get the high and low of that tolerance and make sure everything works out. Looks like we're pretty good to go here. And you'll see we'll switch feeler gauges and switch cams and see what those tolerances are. So we check all of these and just rolling the motor over so it's at top dead center per cylinder when we're checking that. And again, you can kind of take a visual estimation of that without a degree wheel just by looking at the cam lobes and going on the bottom side. So we're just going through that process here, checking everything out, making sure that those tolerances are within spec. Sometimes you're going to need to take one of the feeler gauges, maybe modify it a little bit. I've had to actually either cut them and or grind off some of the sides because they're too big. You have some specialty ones that are a little bit thinner, but it's really not too difficult to modify what you got to fit in some of these tight areas. So some of these feeler gauges you can modify to make fit, or you can get the special ones. Really, it's up to you at that point in time and what fits your style best. So we're going through each one of these valves and just double checking what that clearance is, making sure everything is nice and tidy here. We don't want them to be too tight because obviously you're going to have the valve be stuck open a bit. You don't want them too loose either. At that point in time, you're not getting the full amount of the lift. You can get some extra wear and that kind of stuff in there with stuff slapping around. So this is why we're checking the valves to make sure we're good. Fortunately for me, it looks like all of these are really within spec, so that is awesome news. And again, it's got about 5,000 miles on this motor, which I wouldn't expect to see a whole lot of change anyway, as the valve service intervals are up to like 15,000 miles. So Looks like we are good to go. That's a quick rundown today of what this stuff looks like inside. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and we'll see you guys out on the track.